Welcome to my quick tour of this E-250 camper van conversion. This vehicle spent most of its time in Florida and Texas, has very little, if any, rust on it, and very limited body damage. As you can see here, this is an external shore power connection, 30 amp Furrion, connects inside to a 30 amp breaker for protection. As we go around the vehicle, you can see it has the windows, which I do have window covers for all windows on the van. As you come around, you can see on this side of the van, I have an awning window that I installed. The vehicle also has the barn doors as opposed to a sliding door. On the roof, we have 400 watts of solar on Rhino roof racks, exhaust fan, and 12-volt AC. This is a 5.4 liter V8 engine, starts up every time very well. It does have 204,000 miles on it, but is well maintained. I use synthetic blend oil on there and change it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, depending on the driving conditions. The inside has been all cleaned up. The crew compartment, I replaced the floor. I took care of any rust on the floor. As you can see, here's the engine compartment, and one thing I will point out on the engine compartment is there is the DC to DC charger, alternator charger. There's the cable that connects there where the battery and all goes, and there is a 30 amp marine grade circuit breaker there, and that goes and protects back to the DC to DC charger. And then after the DC to DC charger, there's also a 30 amp fuse. And here's the passenger side. Next, we'll move on to the electrical. Under here, everything is under the bed. I did do access to different compartments. This compartment right here, I use to store laptops. It also has a exhaust fan in to blow cool air into where the electrical components are. Under here, these pullouts, there's the MPP for solar, there's the DC to DC charger, circuit breaker for solar, that's the multi-plus charger. That is a bus connector where all the DC components connect together. Under here, you'll see the wiring is secure, and there is also a 30 amp shore power disconnect there, as I mentioned. Under here is where the batteries are, 3 SOK 206 amp hour batteries, and a bus bar to connect them all together to make it easier to maintain, connect, and use the appropriate size wires. Under here, where the pull-out garage is, there's a quick access where you can get to the master cutoff switch, the 400 amp fuse, and the smart shunt. This is a Furrion distribution panel, 12 volt and 110 volt connectors. There are two different 110 connectors, and under here is where all the 12 volt connectors are, various components, and easy both the positive and negative. Here is the display panel for the Servo GX controller that you can check out and see all your status of your different components, and it has the pages so you can see in two different formats. We also have the 12 volt connectors, both the standard 12 volt connection and USB A and C, USB A and C on this side. These are reading lights, and depending on how you configure the bed, we usually sleep front to back, and this allows us both to have night lights, and I keep my CPAP machine up there. This is up in front by the sink and the fridge, and these are also the connectors, and there are some available switches, and then these are the 110. There's two 110 outlets here, then there's one down on the floor near the pantry that I use and I connect Starlit to. This is the lighting. There's a switch here. This has a little buck booster to convert from 12 to 19 volt for the ambient lighting. And then, like I said, here are the switches. These are all 12 volt, and there are 3 banks of lights. Just showing you having them turn on and off. Here is the awning window showing you how it opens and closes, or opens. Then we'll move on to the storage. For the storage compartments, we have a pantry here under the bed, just locked in to keep that from popping out. It's on a set of rails, slides in and out. Then we have a bench box here which has plenty of storage, and I built a till box for it as well. We just use these little hooks to hook it up onto an eye hook just to keep it from plopping down. And it's just a simple little tuck and store place. We use cubes, and that is there. And then the toilet is the Trolino toilet, very nice composting toilet. You have a little hook here that we hook up, and in here you can see you can do number one business, number two with a diverter, and I also use large water bottles for that. Here is the exhaust fan, and there's the cover for it. It is a max air fan. It's 10 speed, 2 direction. Manual open. I did not want to get the automatic one, fewer things to break. And this shows it just turning on. You can see there, then I'll adjust the speeds and also show you how you can change the direction. So you can either have it be an exhaust fan or an intake fan, depending on your preference. And then just shutting it off again. Pretty simple. This is a Scirocco fan. I like this one because you can adjust it, move it back and forth, and also you can adjust, got a great range of motion on this one, forward and back. We can use this to both blow down on the bed or up to the front to move air around when necessary. It has 3 speeds, and it also has time controls. Here's the Dometic RTX 2000 AC unit. This one will draw between 19 to 52 amps, depending on how if you have it on an Eco or Boost or different ones. And I built the van in Florida. That's why it has an AC unit, because that's more important than heating on that side of the country. Real quick, for safety, I also have a smoke and CO2 detector. This is, I just wanted to point out, it's marine grade vinyl with padding on the inside, both the ceiling and the walls. It's a Dometic fridge. In the listing, I have the stats for it. 12 volt compressor on, you can see both for fridge and freezer, and works quite well for its size. The water tank is a 9-gallon. I fill it to 7, and that's not the fill I use. I'll point it out. Here is a SureFlow pump that I have it connected to, and then I also have an Acuva ultraviolet and water filtration system that connects to the spigot that's on top of the refrigerator. Here's how I fill it. There's a tube in here that connects to the top of the tank. There's a quick disconnect, so that little panel comes out, it's connected with magnets. There's a quick disconnect that I have a funnel hooked up to that I keep secured in the door, and I just kind of stick it onto the faucet there and let it do. And as you can see, there's the faucet and the little sink, which is no gray water. Just wanted to point out the flooring. It's a lawn sealed flooring, very durable, and I have marine grade plywood that's painted with kilns and Thinsulate underneath. Here is the garage. This pulls out. This is a 4-foot garage on 500-pound slides. You can stick a lot of stuff in there, and this is how it closes. Pay no attention to the old man. And that's storage where we usually keep camp chairs and camp rug. The back is pretty simple. I put a couple of panels and hangers. I just want to point out we have a queen-size mattress that just is not in the van right now. If you could see yourself traveling in this van, head over to the vancamper.com and check out our post. Thanks for watching.